course, we're going to get you this house. We'll pay your rent, but you have to form a group channel.
Wow.
And then we take a percentage of that.
Wow, that's clever. So that came from an idea you had to live in a better house than you could afford at the time effectively.
Yeah,
if someone pays for it, but you have to produce content. So from that idea, then they said, but you need an identity as a group.
Yeah, we needed a group,
Wow.
and then we needed to upload a certain amount of videos, just so they can like recoup. And they obviously wanted the percentage, of course. And then we said, yeah, of course. And then we didn't know it was gonna be that kind of house. We had a mansion, with a swimming pool, like a gym, or cinema room.
So you're just thinking there, at the time, you must be thinking, how have we blagged this a little bit?
Oh, 100%. Even more so me, because I was like, that's when I got hit with like crazy imposter syndrome.
Did you? Go on, explain where that sort of came from.
It was more like, at that time, I was kind of like, creatively, I was like shutting down. I wasn't making as much videos at that time.
Yeah.
A lot of the other boys started like getting into their pump now. They're like picking up a lot, and I was slowing down a bit. And so already I was kind of like, okay, cool, I'm kind of being carried here.
Really?
Yeah. And then when we got, and then obviously I was behind, like me and Nicos especially were behind the idea of the house in the group massively. So when it happened and we got the house, it's amazing. And then very early on, I'm in that house and I'm just like, I don't deserve to be here.
Really?
Yeah.
That's what you felt like?
Yeah. Because I was just like, I just kind of felt like I was like stealing a living. I was like, I'm gonna get found out here. I'm a fraud,
Wow.
Yeah. So then that was bad. Like it was bad for me very early on.
So you're in a bit of a bad place mentally then with that, even though you're living it, which is interesting to hear because again, it goes to show in the outside world, people see you living the dream in a mansion, but you're at the time really struggling to come to terms with that because you feel like you just said you feel like you shouldn't be there, which really surprised me when you said that.
Yeah. I didn't help myself though, because like I had a whiteboard on my walls. I always all my friends know I'm always have whiteboards all everywhere because I like write notes on it and stuff. Yeah. And I had a whiteboard on my wall, and for the first month of me living there, I don't know why I did this. It's so dumb. Like looking back now, but I was a lot younger.
Yeah.
I had written on my whiteboard, "You don't deserve to be here."
Did you?
Yeah.
And you were writing that every day. You don't deserve to be here.
There. It was written and it stayed there. And every time I woke up, I'd see it. Like, oh,
but that's a crazy thing to see. Every time you wake up, like the first thing that you see is a negativity that you've written about yourself.
Yeah.
So why did you write that?
I don't know now. Like it was like literally just imposter syndrome. I just felt like I was being carried. I just felt like I wasn't pulling my own weight.
Yeah.
And I wasn't uploading videos.
Yeah.
Like when you're in this, because everyone sees the good stuff, you know. Everyone sees,
so true.
But it's called smashing now, like all that stuff where you're doing well, and even till now, people are like, you're smashing your SPS
Totally agree.
and everything.
Yeah.
And like sometimes I tweet stuff, dumb stuff, and probably get into that later. But
yeah,
like everyone sees the good stuff, and no one actually thinks. Everyone's like, you can't struggle, or why are you even complaining? But no one sees that it's so hard creatively because you have to actually provide entertainment non-stop all the time, and if you don't, people are like, why you're lazy, you're not uploading a video, or you're like, or of course, you know what I mean. And it's like, if you have like a job, like a 9-to-5 job, you can clock out at 5 p.m. Go home and then go switch off, go on a night out, go for drinks, chill, go with the family, relax, go wake up the next morning, go to work. There's no such thing as like clocking out of work here. There's no such thing. Like it could be 3 a.m. in the morning, or I could be 3 a.m. I'm in New York, and I'm still writing on my notes like ideas of different the next video. I'm looking at that. Like,
always on, right?
It's it's impossible, and there's no summer holidays. There's no winter. Like if anything, summer holidays I should be uploading more because everyone's at home. Yeah. So it's like there is no break. There's zero, and it's been like that for 8 years straight. Like, there's no break. There's no stop. There's no minute of the day where you're not thinking about work or having to like deal with something or answer to messages from like work and etc. And obviously it's a good problem to have, but it's
I know exactly what you mean.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So if you have a moment where you're just like doubting yourself or you're not uploading, or then obviously you're 10 times harder on yourself, I guess. Or if the video doesn't perform and all of that stuff. So yeah, I mean, I had that a lot very early on, but
mate,
it's a long time ago.
It's amazing to hear that. Were you in a mentally quite tough place then at that period?
I would say so. Yeah.
Looking back on it, something that you didn't realize at the time, but looking back on it, actually was quite difficult.
Yeah, I'd say so for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And it's interesting what you say there about people do only just see like relating it to you. There's one thing that you said that I related to massively is when you said people only see the good things. The amount of time people say living the dream. Like with my situation, I've had real issues with my mental health. The year that I got my presenter's contract, which is 10 years after I started Sky, started as a runner, work experience, not paid, doing overnight cricket login. The dream was become a presenter 6-7 whenever that was the same year that the year that I started presenting at Sky was the same year I got diagnosed as a type 1 diabetic and was really in the hospital. And everyone, and I kept that really hidden, but everyone on the outside was like, living the dream, living the dream. First time I'm interviewing players, it was within that 2-year period. It was the 2 years when my mental health was the worst it's ever been. But people don't know what goes on. And I would never in a million years, and probably wrong of me to think that, but seeing that house, I would have just assumed you were the happiest you've ever been.
Yeah.
And I can tell without embellishing it even more or getting you to go down an area you don't want to go down, you don't have to talk about it. But I can tell just by your face that you look like that was a really tough period for you there. Yeah,
especially early on, for sure. Early on, it was tough. More because it was like the timing was at the same time, like I said, where I just wasn't making as much content or didn't feel like I was doing well, content-wise or creatively-wise. And then I felt like I was kind of, wasn't pulling my weight.
Yeah.
And then being rewarded with such like a house like that kind of feels like an end goal. Like it kind of feels like
I know what you mean.
You've achieved so much. Like people there usually for like at their retirement home or like you've done so much. Where it's like if I'm into the house now, it's like wow, I can enjoy it.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Where it's like there, it's kind of like now I kind of feel like obviously I'm way happy now, but I live in like a 2-bedroom apartment by myself.
Yeah,
it looks like I've gone backwards. I went from mansions to like an apartment. You know what I mean? It's weird. Like you're meant to progress to that. So I just felt like the time was weird. But honestly, it was after that. It was still like some of the best experiences ever.
Yeah.
Because also it was like COVID hit, and obviously COVID was terrible. But I was fortunate because throughout COVID, I lived with my friends in a beautiful place.
And you got an outside space. Like some people didn't have an outside
garden,
space.
Yeah, we had a big garden. Yeah. We had like. We had like really nice things. We had a gym that we could still stay fit.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was some of the best memories of my life.
Yeah, let's talk about the positive then. When did that change, that imposter syndrome? When did that improve? And tell us about some of the videos you did and some of the highs that you had in that house.
There's so much like fun memories. Like I've got like all the memories stored on my phone. Like I was the one in the house that was like always filming everything.
Yeah.
So it kind of burns me because when I watch those like videos back, I'm not in them. I'm behind the camera.
Oh right, yeah.
So I was the one where it's like people, they'll run around having like water fights in the house.
Yeah, those lot are really close.
Like
Where's
Nerf,
Sharky?
like Nerf fights. And I'm just like, I'm the one I'm getting my camera out.
Yeah.
I've got videos of like Chunks breaking a door in the house.
Yeah,
I've got video, and I'm the one that's filming it. So there's some incredible memories. Like, but for me, it was starting SDS actually was what changed everything for me.
Really?
Yeah. 'Cause that's when I actually like created something by myself, grew it, and then it gave me that belief where it's like, oh my God, I'm actually pretty good. Yeah,
I've got a lot of questions about SDS actually. I want to get into that in a minute. But before we get that, I want to just talk about the creative process from the Beta Squad, because you've all got your individual channels, but you've got 8 million subs as a collective. So obviously, I mean, firstly, congrats. That is unbelievable.
Thank you.
How does the creative come together? Because you do, I don't want to sound disrespectful to certain content creators, but there's certain, in fact, I've done it myself. There's certain times when you can literally upload in your bedroom and put a video out.
Yes.
A lot of the videos that Beta Squad do look like there is a long process, and you can see with the cameras that you use, the editing, that's not an overnight idea to an upload. There's a real thought process that goes in. So how does an idea come to fruition from here's the idea to editing to storyboarding to shooting to upload? Like how does that process sort of work, and who comes up with ideas, and how long does it take, I suppose?
It's a lot. I think one of the guys that like manage us, he sent in a pie chart the other day of like the split of like ideas, who made the most ideas.
Oh, out of the Beta Squad?
And it was so unbalanced. It was like 85% Nico.
Really?
Yeah. And then like you
can't see the other split.
10% AJ, and then the other like flipping 5% between me, Chucks, and Kenny.
Really?
So it's like, damn, I got to step up. But it was it's crazy because of course there's like, now we have a system where we all have video ideas and we'll direct our own videos. Like yesterday we filmed the video of Beta Squad. Tomorrow we're filming, Friday we're filming. That's why I said today's the only day I'm free.
Yeah, mate, thank you.
This week is Beta Squad, but yesterday was my day where it's...
What do you mean by your day? Sorry, that's your idea.
So it was my idea, it's my video, my idea.
Right,
so I'm like, I was leading it, I was directing the video.
And that's an idea you have, but not for your channel, for Beta's channel.
Yeah, so what happens is we'll have to all pitch in ideas, and then we have already in our schedule, in our calendar, the next 6 months of shooting in my calendar, because it's the only way we can do it, because we're all so busy. So what we have is, usually it's like the first week of every month, it's Beta week. It's like international break for England.
Okay,
you go away I don't see my family. It's intense beta squad filming week.
And in terms of that, that'll be like Monday, Sharky's day, Tuesday, Chunks' day. Or...
Yeah, kind of. It'll be like, we have to put in ideas and stuff, and then if everyone wants to do it, it's like, cool, Sharky, we're doing your idea on the 5th of December. Now, we have, for the month prior, I'm in calls, like video calls with the producer, planning everything, how we storyboarding the video. Yeah. The rest of the boys aren't involved in this.
So your idea, just to confirm, 5th of December, whatever day is Sharky's idea. You've got an idea. You'll then, not the rest of the beta squad, you'll then speak to directors, camera ops, editors, how we storyboarding it, how we shooting it, how we editing it, and then you just come together and sort of brief your mates, the other beta squad members, about what they're doing.
Exactly. So they come with the top line and everything of like what the idea kind of generally is.
Yeah.
And then on the day of the shoot, we all turn up. Of course, then I'm the one I've got like more of the work to do that day because I know everything that's happening. And then obviously I told the boys this was happening. Like the video I did yesterday was I got them both to open up a different restaurant each. One had like a really nice, like beautiful restaurant. One had like a small cafe.
Yeah.
And they both had to run a restaurant. Who can run a more successful restaurant? We had a food critic come in, but they didn't know who the food critic was. It was a mystery diner. We had like so much members of the public dine into the restaurant. So I was like involved in like the whole planning of that.
Wow.
And then then when the video's been edited, obviously goes away and it's like, that's a big edit. Like some videos are a bit easier, that was a big edit. So that's not gonna come out till like late next month.
So you're involved in all that, even like licenses and stuff like that, and getting it, and that your director's involved in getting the food critics in and
that's more like the producer. So for me, it's more like I'm like, this is the video idea I want to do. Then we'll have a call and it's like structure it. We're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. 2 teams. They're in this team, they're in that team. This is how it's gonna go. The mystery diner's gonna come in, everything, blah blah blah. And then the producer will go off. He's got all the notes. They're gonna do the casting.
Yeah,
they'll do it, and then obviously he'll run me through. They'll be like, okay, this is the casting we got. Do you like this? I'm like, nah, maybe change that. But they do all the casting. They book the restaurants. They book the locations.
Yeah.
But I have approval. I have final approval.
Yeah, you're like the exec producer.
Yeah, so I'll be like, I'll be like, actually, no, I don't like that restaurant. Change to this one.
But the whole thing is your brainchild. For that idea.
For that video, yeah.
Wow.
But then that works more now because before it wasn't like that.
Yeah.
Before it was mostly Nico just...
Yeah, go back to the pie chart then. So is Nico the genius of the beta squad?
YouTube is his thing, yeah. Like he's got... By like him on his own, he's got 7 million subscribers on his own channel. Like he's obviously like very YouTube driven and like that's his thing, you know. Whereas like for me, it might be more football or like podcasts or other things. And Chunks is just a big entertainer. Or Kenny was doing boxing. But Nico and AJ was like they're just YouTube heavy. So creatively, they're gonna be a bit more.
Yeah, talk to me about how creative and sort of. I suppose I've heard him described as a YouTube genius on this podcast, actually. So give us an insight into how talented Nico is and how his brain works.
It's so hard to know how his brain works. Like, it's like the guy ran for mayor and came 5th out of 20 candidates.
Yeah.
Some of them like actual parties, like they were like actual political parties, and he came like ahead of them. Like this, like it's insane the things he does, you know, but everything's like so well made. You know, everything's so like he doesn't. Now he's got another channel where he uploads weekly on, which is so good because now I'm like, now you feel like a YouTuber to me. But before it was like, and on his main channel he doesn't upload. He uploads maybe 5 videos a year on his main channel.
But is that because I've seen some of his videos? Yeah, because there's a lot of, going back to my point, time, and I imagine there's some that take months of execution.
Months. They're blockbusters. He did a series recently where he traveled around the world. It was like the biggest menace series where him and his mate from America, another YouTuber called Gideon, were like just challenging each other to do big stunts. That video was filmed, didn't come out till like a year later.
Yeah.
Those videos didn't come out till like a year later.
Well, why is that? Is that because he has such creative control? He's got such a attention to detail and everything?
Yes, that mixed of like a lot of other things. Maybe things went wrong. They had to refilm a lot of things, etc., etc. But in general, like it might take him 2, 3, 4 months for videos to come out. Because like, even like the one he did recently was Liberland, which was like a country between a small island between Croatia, Serbia, and like he gave himself a task to try and like stick a flag on there and everything, and he did it, and it took him so long to make that video. But yeah, now he's like, his brain just comes up with like crazy concepts, and but the thing is, what impresses me more is he makes them happen. Yeah, like anyone can think of big ideas, like he makes them happen. Like
that is part of his genius? Do you think that he actually can follow through on? It doesn't matter how big the idea is, he can get it done.
It's insane what he does. Like, there's nothing that's impossible. Like, he snuck into the ring for a KSI fight in a Prime bottle.
Yeah.
And when he told me he was going to do that, I said, "There's no chance it's going to work."
Yeah, did you? How did that conversation go? Literally like that.
He does, yeah, like that. Like he doesn't like. Okay,
yeah.
Watch me. Like,
do you think that spurs him on more though? When you say there's no way you can do that, he's I'm going to prove you.
Maybe, but it wasn't like I didn't believe he couldn't do it. I was more like concerned. I was like I was more like, how's KSI going to take that? Because when someone's like training for a fight and they're in the ring for like they're about to go to war. Yeah. And then someone's in the ring with you in a prime bottle. I'm like, I don't know how he's going to take that. But with Nicos, like, he does everything so well that you can't be mad at him.
Yeah.
Like, even in case when you found out it was Nicos, laughing at him.
Yeah, I remember, yeah.
But I'm
massive
more kind
at
of
the
like
time, that story, wasn't it? Massive.
Huge.
Viral moment.
Yeah, he was in the prime bottle.
Yeah.
But if you watch the build up to that, the way he did it was genius, where KSI thought it was someone else. And it was like it was insane. But yeah, like Nico is probably the best YouTuber. He is the best YouTuber.
I was going to ask you that. Do you think he's the best YouTuber in the UK, you think?
For sure. And one of the best in the world.